So this is the Giantz bike rack. I brought it for 160 brand new from a guy who's selling them from home. He must buy them in bulk. I've got the motorbike version of this. I don't know how much these are online, but I had to buy it straight away because my girlfriend's e-bike broke down. I had to go and pick it up for her. So I reckon it's pretty good. Just be careful if you use one of these for these electronic doors. Make sure you take this off and that one off, otherwise the door will hit it. The other thing is going up under went up a steep driveway from a car park, and I think it's scraped underneath here, so it could get bent on a really steep driveway, especially with the weight on the bike, with the weight of a bike on it. I'm making this video mainly too so my girlfriend's got a tutorial on how to use it. So it folds up all nicely in the car like that. You can take all that stuff off if you're travelling anyway and just leave the shaft on. Now the way it works is it has a normal shaft pin won't fit in. So once I get this pin off, what it does is it has a bolt pin that goes in, but inside the shaft there's a rectangular nut that slides into the shaft, and you've got to line the hole up with the hole on the outside, then slide the whole thing in without knocking the alignment of the internal nut out of place, and it's just inside there. Now once you've got that shaft in with the internal nut inside lined up, push this pin in. This pin is not the same size of a shaft pin, so don't bother trying to fit one in there. You don't have to do it right up with a spanner. Now I've driven this over a speed bump that is only meant to go over at 20, and I went over at 40 k's an hour. I've swung around a few corners and it's solid. It hasn't snapped or bent or anything. Now the bike that was on it that I just did 30 k's with wasn't, I think it's called a Klarkoff, it's a German e-bike. They're a pretty expensive bike and heavy. It broke down. Apparently the motor's gone in it, so I brought it back. Now the way this works from here is you pull the pins out, drop these down, and they just slide up and adjust to having two bikes on, and that's pretty much how it'll look. And these things just lift up and down, switch, and they just got like serrated for grip. Now with the e-bike I needed to shift these over to shift the e-bike over, so this would go down onto the shaft, but I didn't do that. I just wanted it all in line. So you have to, no, what I did was I just tied a rope around the bike to that, and that's all it needed to keep everything in line. But yeah, it's as easy as that. And then you got your straps. So the only additional thing I needed to do was just tie a small bit of rope around to the frame of the bike. Otherwise I could have shifted these bases over, and then that would have lined up with the frame, but the bike would have been sticking out to the left of the car. So yeah, just watch you don't, you can lift the tailgate up like I said, but without that one on there now. But when it's up, take those ones off. You would probably take those off if you only have one bike on anyway. And they're the probably warnings I could give. It would be handy if it was a normal shaft pin down the bottom, but at least you got some stability there. But also, if it was to bang on something, having the swivel motion gives it some play, that if it does swing around to the left, it doesn't put too much tension on, gives them some movement. So yeah, that's the Giantz twin e-bike rack. It's very light, fits in the car easily, and you can take it apart and shift it the way you want to shift it at will. Can't think of anything else other than I don't know how much they were online, because I didn't buy it online. I brought it locally from someone who's just selling them in bulk. But when you put it together, you can take this shaft off here too if you ever needed to. That's part of putting it together. It's got a pin there. And yeah, that's pretty much all I could say about it, other than it's definitely worth its money. And I rather these, you've got to have these for e-bikes because of how heavy they are.